What's up guys, welcome back to Fancy Goldfish Fanatics. Today I am at this Ranchu pond in South England. So today we're going to take a look at this pond. The pond itself is 1,000 litres and is home to 11 Ranchu, as you can see just here. We have a 5,000 litre per hour pump on the system, and we've also got this Backy Shower at the back. If you follow me around the side of the pond, we'll check out the rest of the filtration. Here is one of the sections of the filtration system. So now this is actually an Awazi Filter Clear 20,000. So this is an absolutely huge filter. Normally deals with a koi pond of around 8 to 10,000 litres, a lightly stocked one albeit. But this is providing a huge amount of biological and mechanical filtration for this pond. Now we also have a UVC clarifier in here. I believe this is a 36 watt UVC clarifier, so that is keeping this water absolutely gin clear. Now in this filter, it doesn't have any alpha grog or any pumice media or any real biological media that you would commonly find, like bioballs, alpha grog as I mentioned, pumice, biohome, anything like that. This is actually completely full of sponges. Now we have two different grades of sponges, and what these do is remove all of that sediment and detritus that builds up within the water. Any free floating algae, any fish waste, any detritus is trapped in this. Now to clean it, all you do is lift this handle and you just do a few pumps on the system. The water can be drained out here out of a hose that can go onto the raised beds. As you can see, there's a raised bed just here, and there are also some behind the camera as well. Now that water can obviously be pumped onto the garden, and it's really easy to clean this filter. You don't have to get any wet hands, and it has a huge amount of sponges in here as well. Now after the water has gone through here, it can either be returned straight back to the pond, or there is a splitter and the rest of the water actually goes through the Backy Shower, which I'm going to get onto now.
A few moments later.
Now I've spoken about that Awazi Filter Clear, let's get on to the second part of the filtration system. Now you may see this big wooden box which is sort of blended in with the rest of the pond. Now this is actually a Backy Shower, otherwise known as a tower filter or a shower filter. Now it's actually covered with some sort of galvanized steel which has been painted black to fit in with the rest of the pond. So if I just lift those off, we can have a close look at what's inside. Now most Backy Showers will be made of sort of fiberglass or plastic tubs, but this one is actually a DIY version which has been made from these 35 litre sort of storage bins that you can keep like clothes in or household goods. So if we have a little look at what's inside, you'll see if I just remove the lid here, we have this spray bar. Now this spray bar actually sprays the water onto some filter fleece, and then there's a little bit of alpha grog, and then the tray below is actually completely full of alpha grog. There's around 15 kilos in it, but I'm just going to put the lid on because obviously you can hear all that water splashing and it's probably quite noisy. Now obviously there are quite a few benefits to a Backy Shower. Obviously this filter is out of the water, so maintenance is very easy. All that needs to be done is removing that filter fleece and placing a new sheet of filter fleece in. Obviously the water is oxygenated, so we're removing any CO2 and we're also regassing the water with oxygen as well. The water is tumbling through that system. The pump is actually off the bottom of the pond, so if there are any leaks, it's not going to fully drain the pond. The fish are still going to be within 6 to 7 inches of water, so it's not going to affect them too quickly, and the owner can actually come, check, sort out any leaks and fill up the pond. So once the water has travelled through this Backy Shower, it is returned through two 90-degree bends which are underneath the water. Now these are actually loose, so they can be alternated in the flow rate, so you could have them facing the sides of the pond so there is not much circulation, as the top few Japanese Ranchu do not like too much flow within the water, or they can be both faced in one direction, as you can see here, and the water is actually traveling in a circular motion around the pond, keeping a nice flow. Any suspended solids can be lifted off into the pump and then returned into either the filter clear or into the Backy Shower. Now there are many positives to having a Backy Shower on a system. Obviously the maintenance is very easy. It aerates that water, as I mentioned. You can fit a huge amount of media into the tubs as well. Now this one has around 15 kilos. Obviously you can increase the height of the Backy Shower, so you can be adding a lot more media in there as well. Now I don't have a Backy Shower filter, but I would say they are one of the best filters to use, as you can fit a huge amount of media in them. As I mentioned, you can pimp them so you can add whatever biological or mechanical filtration you want as well. and as I said, they are really easy to service. They help add oxygen to the water and remove any CO2 as well. So as you can see, I've walked over the filtration system. We have lots of sponges in the Awazi Filter Clear, and then we have our filter fleece and the Alpha Grog in the main Backy Shower as well. So plenty of filtration on this pond, and as I said, we have 11 top view Japanese Ranchu in here. Now, the Japanese Ranchu are a range of different ages. I think we've got some young fish around 12 months. We've also got some 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, and even 4-year-olds. There are a few different generations. Now, the majority of these fish did come from the breeder that I did a video on probably about 4 weeks ago, where we had a look at that secret top view Ranchu breeder. And now, the majority of these fish did come from that breeder, and my fish are actually from a similar line to these as well. So as I said, we've got the big Lilly in the middle, which provides lots of cover for these fish and a spawning ground as well. And then obviously they've got the rest of the pond to swim around in. You will notice in the underwater footage that the Lilly is on a sort of bucket, and this is just to raise it up. But I believe next year it's actually going to go down to the bottom. Once those leaves have died back, it's going to go down to the bottom, and then next year the leaves and the shoots will rise up to the top. Hopefully you can see the top view Japanese Ranchu below me. Now we have a few different sized fish. We've got some small 1- and 2-year-olds, which are around the 3-inch range, and the big guys go up to about 5, maybe 5.5 inches. So there is a nice little range of fish in the pond, and as you can see, they want to be fed. Now the owner actually feeds them 4 times per day, and obviously in winter these fish are going to go down to the bottom. We are in the south of England. Hopefully it's not too windy. Hopefully the audio quality is good enough. But we are in the south of England, so this pond will likely freeze over in the winter. You may be thinking, is there a cover for it? Well, the owner actually has, as you can see, these little metal brackets which stick out from the side of the wood, and there is actually a metal black mesh lid that goes over the top to stop any predators like cats or herons. Now the fish will actually go down to the bottom in the winter. That Backy Shower can be completely isolated, and then the water will run through the Awazi 20,000 filter clear over to the side of me just here. Now that filter isn't always exposed. There is actually a bench sort of seat cover that actually goes over the top of it, so people can actually sit down there, and it can also be insulated in winter as well. Now this is a very new pond, so it hasn't gone through its first winter just yet, but the sides are actually insulated with polystyrene, and the filter is going to be insulated underneath that bench seat as well. Now the water will likely freeze over in winter if we do have a harsh winter, but these are top view Japanese Ranchu, and they can survive that winter period. Now I do get quite a lot of people asking me, can they survive in winter? Can Ranchu survive in winter? Now ordinarily I would keep your Chinese or Thai Ranchu at around 12 degrees minimum, ideally 15 to 16 degrees or above, but these Japanese Ranchu are really hardy. A lot of them have gone through winters in this area before, as they have been in an old pond, but this is their brand new pond. Now you would have seen that old pond on the channel. I'll put a little link to it up in the corner of the video here, and you can actually go back and watch it and see some of these fish. Now I think that was around a 500 to 600 litre pond, but now these guys are in around 1,000 litres, so they have a much bigger home, and this pond is definitely capable of holding probably another 9 fish. I think you could easily get 20 Ranchu in this 1,000 litre tub. Now that is all on the video today. If you do have any questions, you can leave those down below. If you've got any questions about the fish, the Lilly, the filtration system, or how the owner looks after the pond, then please feel free to leave a little comment down below. If you want to have your pond or setup featured on the channel just like this video today, then please leave a comment down below and I will do my best to reply to you, or feel free to send me an email. The email is in the description, fancygoldfishfanatics@gmail.com. We can have your setup or tank featured on the channel. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's video, but that is it for today. Thank you all for watching. Remember to keep those water changes up, and happy fish keeping.